Hi, welcome to Tux TV. I'm host Jimmy Tux. We're going to have an open room. It's just going to be poking around on the computer anyway, and there was a reference in a chat, and I just said, hey, I'm going live. Stop on by. Anybody else want to stop by? Let's go for it. In the meantime, I don't have anything prepared. I mean, I have some things prepared for something else, but it's not ready for showtime. I've had nothing but audio issues, and hopefully I'm being heard right now. Let's see if anybody can hear me out there. UHBS, you hear me all right? Hopefully I'm audio good. Yes. Sound is good. Well, you're welcome to jump on, have a good time. I'm just going to play a little bit of a game, wait for... Hi, Spooky. And just do nonsense. Go kill some bad guys in this game that I'm playing so I can gain some heroes that mean nothing. But I'm going to do it anyway. So, hopefully, this Christian who has evidence, the best evidence where atheists go running, stops by and converts me to Christianity, or I go running. So, if you want me to talk about something, just throw up something in the chat and we'll talk about it. So, hey Dave, heard you live. I went hiking for a little while and missed the exciting finale. Looked like you were having a pretty good conversation. I don't really get the talking psychedelics all the time. I'll be honest with you. It's not my cup of tea. Probably just like talking atheism isn't most people's cup of tea. Right. Jim Kebab. Yeah. Jim Bob is he's quite the interesting character. I feel like I feel like he's entertaining enough and on the edge enough. But I was just happy to get JB to admit creationism wasn't a scientific. Yeah, is that what the conclusion was? I'm official though. Someone reviewed one of my videos. Dave, say it ain't so. Dave's selling out, guys. He's going to be converting to Christianity before you know it. He's going to be hosting demon hunters and exorcists. Yeah. Let's show some of this. killing it. So all right. Well, I'm just gonna sit back and chill. Hopefully this guy joins. Assuming it's a guy. Let's see. Let's see if I can. The thing is, I don't want to play the video because it's got Imagine Dragons on the short, and I know it'll be copyright, like, slam dunk. So I can't play what started it all. So I don't know. I'll just play this. Cancel this and just join his. So, what do you think? Anybody else want to join? I did not know that. I did not know that Imagine Dragons was an X. Jim Bob calls everybody names. I mean, basically he does that. I don't know. I don't know what you call that. That having a seizure sound. He always does that, like almost like a, I don't know. You can't tell if it's making fun of Down syndrome or whatever that sound effect is. Whenever I hear him play it, I feel like it's his own self-reflection on how kind of stupid he sees himself. It's just, I don't know. That's the way I perceive it. How about now? Yep, I've got audio again. Okay, fixed. So, I know this is boring. I don't care. Dave hears me now. Yeah, that's true, Al. This is probably more exciting. Me doing nothing might be more exciting. Well, yeah, subs over 300. Oh, well done, Dave. Stir up some shit with Jim Bob. Get subs. Sounds like, I don't know. I feel like Jim Bob, even if he's wrong, he's going to have some dissonance to justify he's right. My story, I'm sticking to it. Yeah. Yeah. 99 subs. We need to get you one more. Who can go over and sub to Al? I have other accounts, but I don't like doing that. It's like a fictitious number. It doesn't make it. Yeah. I am just tickling 200 right now. But honestly, I just do this for me. Like, so Dave, my brother and I are planning a trip to Toledo. Might look you up for a. Might look you up if that matures. Dave, congratulations on 361 subs. Nice. Well done. Yeah, it'll be second weekend in November if it matures. Might take in a hockey game. Might go to Toledo for a hockey game. I apparently haven't been to a hockey game in Toledo since I was 8 months or something like that. 10 months, around 10 months. Well, hoping this guy comes on. Let's check out the email, see if says I'm live. Just got an email. Okay. Email from Mr. Deity. Prager FU, does life have any sense? Make any sense? Gang, I'm almost fully recovered. Praise Hitch. I hope you're all well. The first Prager FU video is quite a while. In quite a while is a bit different. It begins with such a stupid question. I decided to take the entire video and do a deep dive into just that one idea. In particular, I wanted to look at the question from the point of view of those who embrace the Judeo-Christian myths and legends. By the way, we all have to start using the nomenclature. That is, the Judeo-Christian narratives are myths and legends. Come take the red pill with me. Thanks so much. Continued support. Enjoy. B. Mr. D. So I'm not sure if he just dropped this live or he just put a sneak preview for his Patreons. Oh yeah, free tickets when you were scouts. Nice. Yeah, Boy Scout night was always would fill the barn. Yeah. Growing up in Fort Wayne, Toledo was the arch nemesis when I was growing up. And then Toledo just kind of faded away in the mid 80s. And Indianapolis kind of took the place of the biggest rival after that. Now I don't live anywhere near Fort Wayne. Get to go very often. I think my best friend's not going to make it. do it. Between scouting and my parents working for a big company. Disney on Ice saw John Denver for free. One of my vivid memories of childhood is listening to John Denver sing about Toledo, Ohio. Funny enough. I just remember him talking about the Toledo weighing machines, singing about the Toledo weighing machines, and trying to think what was some of the other things. That they roll the sidewalks up at 10, and I spent a week there one day. But let's not forget that in Toledo, Ohio, Toledo Scale is a huge company in my electronic classes in high school. Picked through local wire. Oh, really? Next time you see an old penny scale, check the stamp. Probably Toledo scale. Yeah. Yeah. I fondly remember him when I was a kid. It's a good memory. Well, I think my guy's a no-show. It was fun to get on and be live and witness my audio issues live. That was fun. I think I'm going to do a 3:23 in the morning live. And maybe have a video to release later tonight area. We'll see. Just been so many audio issues. Just want to throw my hands up in the air and give up. Run away. That's all I want to do. Yeah. Well, yeah, you know what? Anything that Jim Bob sends his little minions after, it just seems like there's total chaos. I think BS can kind of tell you a few stories about that. I thank you, Stan. The thing is they're not very, I know they look dark, but you can see how pretty much light they are. Let's try it that way. There we go. They're not very dark. So especially when you're looking at monitors and you've got lights in your eyes and stuff like that, it's no big deal. I am a very stylish boy. Let's just kill some baddies here. Let's try this one. My doggy's gonna get a good go. This is come downstairs to do some working. Work out. It's not too bad. Hello. No, who's calling, please? What's this concerning? Correct. Well, no, I don't believe so, but thank you. There's just too many scams out there. Blaster Master. Hi, welcome. I just subbed to your channel last night from your Kentucky Atheist visit. I feel guilty that I didn't prepare a program and you get to see me at my best. I'm really just sitting here doing nothing. I probably will get more views and more entertainment value from me doing nothing than me actually talking and trying to make a point. Speaking of making a point, Brandon over at Mindshift did a hell of a video today. If you haven't seen it, check that one out. Yeah. Well, jump on and put some stuff here if you like. Ooh, that was bad. Let's see how close that got me, though. Really close. Almost done. I don't want a Jesus statue based on Shroud of Turin. Yeah, let's do it. I like the way you're thinking, Sandals. I feel like there should be one already. Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me all right?
I can. It's maybe a little equity. Do you have a microphone or does it go through like a camera or
I got a shotgun mic on my desk here.
Okay. It sounds good enough though.
I got a fan running and it's hot in here, that's all.
Oh yeah, that'll do it on a day like today.
Let me turn the fan off. And I'll turn this other quieter fan on. There we go.
I really couldn't hear the fan. It's just the echoey. Like you've gains on really high and the microphone's far away or something.
It's right here in front of me, but I can turn it up probably. Or down, either way.
Oh, what kind of mic do you use? You say?
It's a shotgun mic.
I don't know what that is. Sounds sexy though.
It's like, hold on. I don't know why my video stopped.
Oh, lost him.
It's weird. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, good. I listened to about the first 2 hours of you on with TKA, and then I was driving home, and looked like they had an open room. I missed all of the open room.
Yeah, we're just gonna open it up to a few people. We didn't want to like a completely open panel because it gets to be too crazy, you know. We were supposed to have a call-in show, but he couldn't figure out the audio, so
yeah, I've been having a lot of audio issues. I've got 3 videos I'm working on, and none of them can get complete because I have so many audio issues. Editing's a nightmare. Putting it all together with, you know, basically multiple different recordings from when the audio failed, and you don't find out the audio failed until you've downloaded the video and you're starting to edit it, and then halfway through it's just like, I think it's so.
What are you playing here?
This is a game called Total Battle. It's a money suck.
Total Battle.
Yeah. It's a money suck. I don't recommend it.
It's a pay to win.
Like, how do I say this? It's entertainment like buying a subscription. The way I see it, it's more like buying a subscription to HBO.
Right.
You know, it's not so much that you pay to win, it's that you start playing it, and then you see a entertainment value to time, and then you get pulled. You just get just like ground beef. Your steak turns to mush.
So it's like
your wallet turns
subscription based, or
it's not even, you don't have to subscribe to anything. Yeah, you can get the free version and just not pay anything. But if you're under any kind of time constraints or anything like that, it just, I want to play this and I want to play it with an efficiency. And to do that, you kind of have to throw some coin at it.
It's no good. That's a bad gaming model.
It's a bad gaming model. And then what do you know?
They make a bunch of money.
You know, you know, where I can score some fake gold for my game, please.
Some pixel crack.
I'll do whatever it takes.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'm fine with like some games where it's just you can buy stuff that's purely cosmetic.
Yeah,
that's okay. I'm fine with that. But when they want to charge for like weapons and stuff, that's when I'm like, this game sucks.
Yeah, basically what they do, the grift is that you
can unlock a bunch of shit.
You can like there's a style where it's subscription based, but then really to excel, you have to buy these soldiers. And you have to heal those soldiers when you kill them. So the cycle.
And it all costs money?
Well, if you don't mind just taking your time and building it slow and steady wins the race. But there's going to be a time. I have 12 days and 12 hours to finish this certain level. And then I get these two amazing heroes that are just like, just like watching a movie on Netflix. The subscription that I had 2 years ago for Netflix, 10 years ago, 12 years ago for Netflix. I watched those movies. What did they really do for me? It's basically like that. Every single month, if you add up everything that I paid for the entertainment. Yeah. What did it really do for me? I was entertained.
That's right.
That's what I got. I got entertained.
I really hope companies move away from they have been moving from the microtransaction kind of thing, because the players are the, you look at like FIFA soccer, how much money that game makes off of just microtransactions?
Isn't that something?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yes, I couldn't agree more, Sandals. In fact, I should go get myself a drink.
Like, as I'm sitting here sucking on my vape and my beer here.
I should join you for a beer. Oh,
it's
missed it by one.
It's beer 30 somewhere. I got this good beer. I got Meerpond from Oregon.
Oh.
From Bend, Oregon.
I have some Warsteiner in the fridge. Right.
Warsteiner.
Yeah, I love a good German Pilsner.
Yeah, I just had a Pilsner before I came home. I love a good Pilsner too.
Yeah.
It's really good for summertime, You don't want something thick and heavy or
if I go
hoppy.
hit the draft at the local pub and they've got some local brews, I love a good Pilsner, because any good Pilsner, the first sip just tastes like the bar mop.
It tastes like the bar smells.
It tastes like the bar smells. And you're like, it makes you, give a little pucker. And then the next sip is so refreshing. There's just like something about it.
It's like, oh yes, it's delicious.
Oh, it's delicious. But the first, anybody who's like, I don't like beer, I can almost promise you they tried a Pilsner that tasted like it's been resting in the drain for a while.
Right.
Oh, here we go. All right, the mission that I wanted to complete before it resets in 15 minutes. So my work is done here. Well, let's close this out. Let's talk to Master Blaster.
You're gonna get us a statue from Cameron? One of the Shroud of Turin statues? Oh my god. I can't believe he was selling that shit. What a little grifter. What a grifter.
Yeah. Well, do you have any requests? I originally just signed on because I'd had a little banter back and forth. You know what? I'm going to attempt to do some. I'm going to attempt to do. Share this tab instead. This just happens to be my moment of zen for another time.
That's some goats. I love goats.
I know this is gonna be
pygmy goats too. They're adorable.
Can you hear that, by the way? Is the audio
yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah, these little baby. It's gonna be my moment of zen for the next video that I have coming out. So
nice.
The thing is, I gotta. Actually, you know what? I think I've got this one recorded and the audio worked. I have to keep it.
It's a constant struggle, isn't it?
Constant struggle. Sunflower Farm Creamery.
Hi, I'm Hope.
I'm Chris. Welcome to Sunflower Farm.
Let's see if they respond.
Thanks for stopping by for a visit.
Big
Goats
Man
are.
Mama
Try to
just did
explain
something.
to you what God said, and I feel more unworthy than I've ever felt in my life.
Oh boy.
I'm not sure anyone in the world
Oh, is he gonna
is
cry?
qualified to comment
He is.
on what God
He's-
said. How many of you have ever had tough times or questions in life, and you say, "Boy, I wish the Lord would answer me"? What are you going to do? You're going to doubt God until you understand,
Over it, dude.
or you're
He
going to
gets
trust
me
Him
every time.
You gonna trust
until you
him?
understand? I made a choice years ago, Lord. There's a lot of things I don't understand.
Let's give
I'm
him a
going to trust
like.
you until you explain it. Some of the
Yeah.
atheists are afraid to debate with me.
Give big
Wait
bad
till you
mama.
stand before God, have to defend your position. You said, God, I believe the evidence showed we came from a rock. They're all going to laugh at you up in heaven. I'm just telling you right now. I'm laughing at you now, but they're all going to laugh at you up in heaven.
I don't
Yeah.
remember ever saying
You
that,
believe we came from
so
a rock and related
guess
to
I'm
a
all right.
mosquito.
I
That's going to be
feel
funny
like
to watch. I'm trying
the
to warn you,
odds
I get
of
you- don't be
Kent's
on that side
God
of the
and the odds of me
One of our
coming
previous
from a
tech
rock
guys
are
was
exactly
diverting
the
funds over to
same.
his personal bank account. So I'm sure it's going to the right spot. Call Sandra. I'm going to try to explain to you what God said. And I feel
fucking
more unworthy than I've ever felt in my life.
I'm
I'm not
he's
sure
such
anyone
a-
in the
That's like forced tears. Those wasn't even authentic. Like I'm not convinced that he was actually sad there. I don't think he has the ability to. Like I don't think he's. I think he's a sociopath.
I'm certain he's genuine. I'm certain he loves the God Lord, but I also am certain he knows how to use this holy book to his advantage, which
You
is
ever hear
why
that? You ever hear him
Are
tell
you
that
the-
story about him beating his son in the dental office?
I have.
That happened in
Yes.
my dad's office.
Holy shit!
Yeah. I
The
remember
circle
because
is
my dad
complete.
came home and told me, he's like, dude, can't just beat the shit out of Eric in my office. And I was like, what?
Oh my. Huh. So, I mean, my dad gave me the old one too a few
Yeah,
times.
I got it occasionally. I got the
I
belt.
wouldn't say I was physically abused
Right.
because I saw it as punishment.
Yeah.
Very rarely did I think I didn't deserve that. I can think of like maybe 2 times I was like, I didn't deserve that.
My parents messed up. They I grew out of the spanking area, right? And then when I was like 12, there was like some psychopaths that came to the church and decided, spare the rod, spoil the child kind of
Oh, yeah.
bullshit. Yeah, and then my parents started like beating me when I was like 12, and I was like, this is not acceptable at all,
I wish I'd said that. I do wish that I had just popped up and just said,
I ended
next
up-
time you do that, child services is just a phone call away.
Well, I ended up fighting my dad one time. I didn't fight him. I just he was standing in my doorway, and I was like, I'm gonna jump out the window. He's like, no, don't do that. And then I ran out the door, and he grabbed my legs, and I dragged him down the stairs, and just I was like, get off me, or I'm gonna hurt you. Get off me, and he wouldn't get off me, and I just put my knees in his chest and cracked one of his ribs, and that was that. And then I was a homeless teenager.
And then just like that, it
Yeah,
was over.
yeah. Then I
Yeah,
was 15 and living on my own.
I have often wondered if I had taken that path, what it would be like.
It wasn't very fun.
It wasn't, yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Is there yeah.
I wasn't
So-
gonna let someone just get physical with me because they felt like it, So
So have you
I
ever
took
seen
the
this guy,
Subaru the day
Dade
before
Murphy?
without permission. Oh yeah, he's great. I love
He
him.
is
He's-
fantastic. Like the first time I
Yeah.
saw him, I was like, it's too much devil worship. And then the next video that came up, I watched him, listened to him, and I was like, oh, well, he's just using this facade.
Yeah.
I mean, whether
it's
he
good. I
uses
like
it
his-
because that's genuinely him or he uses it because it grabs the attention. I don't
I think
really
it's
care.
both. A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
I've heard him talk before. He's pretty cool, dude. He's been around the skeptic community for a long time. I'm pretty sure.
I only ran into him like about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
You
he's
truly
been around
make
for
a
a while.
motherfucker think.
Excuse me.
He has a great voice.
Excuse
Right?
me. That is precisely what I'm trying to do.
Oh, what? Let's give a like and a comment on that one. You tell him. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's just say
He's a character.
Yeah.
I like that. Just
what you
has
said.
a shitload of personality.
Yeah.
Are you the builder?
Yes, sir.
You built this whole house, the concrete and everything?
Yes, sir.
You think you can build us one?
Yes, sir.
How much? Just like it.
If you pay everything, 200,000.
200,000 to build this exact house right there.
We is all local.
Are you the builder?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This is interesting. Since Elon Musk took over Twitter, use of the N-word on the site has reportedly jumped 500%. It's the biggest increase.
Duh.
Nice.
Duh.
Oh boy.
I don't know if you know any South Africans, but
I do. I work
they
for
can
one.
be- some of them are really cool. Some of them are very not cool.
Yeah. I work for a cool one.
That's good.
in
There's
the
some
use
cool
of the
ones, don't
N-word
get me
since
wrong.
the last time I stubbed my toe.
That's a Michael Shea written joke.
This is interesting.
I do love the way they write each other's jokes. That is absolutely. It's just.
All right, tell your joke.
Oh boy.
That's a
Why
big
that chicken
rooster.
so funny?
Why?
Because
That's pretty cute.
That is cute.
My wife will like that joke.
Yeah. That's not even a dad joke. That is a kid pulling off a dad joke.
Yep.
Oh, good. Dad, can you tighten this for me? I'm at 4-way.
What?
I ain't 4.
Yeah, that's a copyright
How many
strike just
taps
waiting to
until
happen.
your pet gets mad?
Okay, what's this guy doing? Teaches how to put two boards together the wrong way, putting in the end grain. Yeah, of course it's just going to pull right out. What you going to do to solve that? Oh, you're going to drive the nails in diagonally instead. Yeah, no, that's
Smart.
still a fail, buddy. Okay, what's this?
Do you know that for
Right. I could do this for hours.
I know, the stupid shorts are just addictive as hell, aren't they? I find
have this-
myself watching something and then I'll switch to the shorts and start watching the shorts and I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
Wasn't I supposed to be watching something else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attention span goes right out the window.
Yeah. Watched
And
all the
then the
nitty
shorts
last
train
night.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They do rewire your brain. I
Mhm.
agree. I concur.
Because you're looking for that instant gratification, right?
Look at that. Listen, I watched most of Dave's. It says that I watched all of it, but I did not. I missed right about here. From here out. So I missed the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, they were just talking shit about Jim Bob, right?
Probably. Probably.
I mean, I'm not impressed by Jim Bob. He doesn't impress me.
I'm not impressed by Mother. Like, I mean, he talks his game. I don't care about him, and I'm sure he doesn't care about me, and I kind of like to leave it that way. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, is that him or his alter ego
Right.
and persona?
Right.
Like to me, the real Jim Bob, I have no interest in, and the persona / alter ego. You know, there's some things that I do on camera that are Jimmy Tux, and there's things in real life that
Right.
are Jimmy Hensley. and they are not the same thing. Even though I'm genuine here, I am not the same thing in real life.
It doesn't come. Yeah, that's the thing about Jim Bob. He doesn't come across as authentic at all. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, he's building his
Kent Hovind
brand.
is more authentic than him.
That's the thing. I don't think that Ken Hovind or Ken Ham is lying to themselves or lying to everybody else. Ken Ham, maybe.
Yeah.
Ken Hovind, I don't think he is.
Enough.
He genuinely, I think he genuinely believes this Christian belief system.
Yeah.
Ham may know how much of a scam it is at its foundation and plays on it. At least that's the way I view it. Like Cruffalo Dollar, Joel
Ken
Steen.
Ham is definitely surrounded by people that know better, more so than Kent. Like, I think Kent's been corrected 1,000 times over, though, too, and he never corrects himself, which is kind of frustrating,
Yeah.
Because he'll still say the same stupid shit that he said 20 years ago. It's like...
He'll still say it.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the videos that I'm working on has him in a clip talking about dinosaur bone carbon dating. Dave, you think he's lying about the science, and he may believe in the Bible, but he's lying about the science? I mean,
yeah, that makes. I don't know.
The
man.
thing is if I can figure it out, then they can figure it out.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
If I can figure it out, every single rabbi who has memorized the Talmud can figure it out. And that's the thing. I think that's why a lot of times there are, I don't know. I agree. James Apperson one time said on a live stream that Joel Osteen is the smartest atheist he knows. And I would have to second that. Kenneth Copeland is the smartest atheist. Cruffalo Dollar is the smartest atheist. Andrew Womack is the smartest atheist. I think that they are atheists. But they memorized the book. They know how to garner the interest and get the followers, and they know how to preach to them so that they throw their money their way. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think a lot of them are definitely non-believers, and they're just stuck with it. And hey, they're getting rich, so
yeah,
screw it. They're morally bankrupt.
Like the number of times that Michael Jones from Inspiring Philosophy and Mike Winger have come in critiquing other religions or Christians or Abrahamic institutions. The amount of times that their conclusion, if they'd only apply that same conclusion to their own belief system, they would have the answer.
Right. Yeah, they do that a lot. I agree.
Really? I don't know who Walter Kaiser is. Do you know who Walter Kaiser
is? Is it like a British, one of those British dudes? Guess we'll Google it. Walter Kaiser. He's an American evangelical, apparently. So another evangelical told him that, which is not surprising. Like when I went, like I was saying earlier, the church I went to was kind of like it was like the largest church in the town I grew up in, right? And we always had guest speakers, Ken Ham, Kent Hovind.
We're
William Lane Craig would show up. But I always thought it was always weird to me because I would see, Ken Ham one week and then William Lane Craig the next week or a month later, and they would have contradicting positions, right? You can't And it was so frustrating to me. I didn't know why that church, they just tried to play it both ways. Like, you can be a creationist or not. It's fine. And it's like, well, make up your fucking minds. You can't have it both ways. You know?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Well, I'm saying that Ken Ham is like a creationist, whereas William Lane Craig isn't, right? He's not.
Oh,
a young
right.
Earth
The
creationist.
contrast between new and old
Yeah.
Earth creation.
And it wasn't even just that. There was conflicts in the way they interpreted the Bible too, you know? The whole thing. What they view the message as being. Frank Turek was always a guest too at the church I went to in the 90s.
Yeah, I wonder if Frank Turek is in my references. I wonder if he really knows. I just don't know.
Yeah, he's one of those ones that is definitely on the edge for me too, because it's like, I don't know if you're actually a believer or not. It doesn't come across that. Like, he's been at it so long, right? How could he, you know, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Like, I saw him question. I saw a short earlier today where he had been questioning an atheist, and he just went into like a Socratic method reference.
Yeah.
And wanted to get to the root of why that person was asking that question instead of actually answering. And I don't even think it was a real gotcha question or anything. But Frank's so close. He has to know. He has to know.
That's what I think too. Like, it has to be glaringly obvious to him, right? Like, it can't not be.
My presupposition is that basically the Bible is a deception. It is written as human deception. People are emotionally manipulated into believing it is legit. And I compare it oftentimes to spiritual Ponzi scheme, or some variation of the Nigerian prince scam, or some variation of Mantel Teo's catfishing scam.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the evidence is well observed from reading the Bible. Kaiser is an old class Old Testament scholar. Says the Google. You see, if you say Google, you can't tell the difference between Google, the noun, Google, the company, Google, the verb. So
you have to say it says the Google.
So if you say the Google, it makes it more authoritative.
That's right.
So, let me see if Mrs. Tux just called me.
Word.
Mrs. Tux and I today is our wedding anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
Been married for 13 years.
Hell yeah.
Where did the time go?
I know, it flies, doesn't it? I was thinking that earlier. I was like, shit, did I just have my wedding anniversary this month and not realize it?
The thing is when we got married, my life didn't change that much. But when I met the missus, my life changed pretty dramatically within the next 10 months. My life changed.
Yeah.
It's plain changed. It didn't change when we got married, though.
Right.
So I always tell her, if we can't celebrate the real anniversary day, don't worry about it. We'll do it somewhere closer to the day we met, and it's like a different.
The day you hooked up, yeah.
Yeah, the day we met really marks a change for my life directly.
Yeah.
But
I think that's more significant to me too. It's like when we started dating, like January 2000, 2001. That's when I started dating my wife. So we've been together for 23, 24 years now.
Yeah, the missus and I have been together for it'll be we'll be starting our 18th year, so we're finishing our
Nice.
17th year. So
Cool.
so we weren't in a hurry to get married, as you can tell.
Yeah, same here.
I didn't
We were young when I met my wife, so I was like not about to get married right away.
yeah.
Just
I
wasn't
remember.
in the cards for me.
I was in my late 30s and she was in her early 40s when we met.
Well, the reason we got married was so I could go to Korea with her and live there without having to get a visa, or to, you know, without having to like leave every 3 months or whatever.
Did you say Crete?
Korea.
Oh,
South
Korea.
Yeah, we lived in South Korea for 2 years. We eloped, and then a week later we left to Korea. We didn't tell anyone we were getting married either. We just did it,
Yeah.
and then we told them afterwards. And they were all, her parents were super, like, they were like, ah. But we had a reception when we got back from Korea, so we got all the gifts and everything anyway. Didn't have to go through the hassle of having a wedding, so kind of worked out.
So, Cerebral Hacks here has two questions. Would I consider anything that has been sincerely worshipped as a god by a fairly large number of people? A god?
We just mistyped there.
So, if we define God as something that's being worshipped, then there's a such thing as God. If we're talking about something that's created as a god and basically is given some variation of a to-do list for you to be in his welcomed afterlife, no, I disagree with that. I'm an atheist of the God Yahweh because it's just a claim in writing, and using the nature that surrounds us as evidence of that God. Nobody has connected the dots between the nature around us and the being that is listed in a holy book as the creator.
I generally let other people define what a god is, but if someone's defining like something that already exists in the world as a god, I'm probably not going to accept that definition. I'm probably going to reject it because it doesn't align with what generally the usage of the term is. It's like, it has to do with like something supernatural, something all-knowing, something all-powerful, that sort of thing. The omnis, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think of a god as. I don't necessarily like to define it myself because I don't believe in one, so it's not really my problem. It's their job to define it, not mine, right?
Yeah. So,
what's number two?
Number two is, if we found out the being Yahweh is real, but some details people believed were incorrect, would you consider this Yahweh as the same being as in the Bible? So in Job 1:16, we've just met this Hasatan character who is the adversary, the accuser. He's a council member of whatever the celestial council is. In verse 16, the fire comes from heaven. And in 19, it is weather that kills Job's children. Now, here's my question to you. I'm going to answer your question with a question. If you found out that Yahweh is just the devil's boss, would you continue to worship him after we found out that he does exist? And those are the details. Because you wouldn't worship the devil.
Yeah, right.
Would you worship the devil's boss?
No.
The answer would be no. So I would need an alibi that the devil isn't involved. If now I know the Yahweh is a real thing, the devil is a real thing, I need the devil's alibi that he didn't have anything to do with the holy book that is now affirmed to be from Yahweh or the son of Yahweh.
Yeah, you need to demonstrate that God is benevolent. That he actually gives a fuck for me to worship him. You know? Because if he doesn't care, then why should I care?
Yeah. But to answer the question, I don't believe that there is a Yahweh. I don't believe that there's a devil. And I don't believe that there's a son of Yahweh. I believe the whole thing is a scam. A written literary form of entertainment that turned into somebody else's scam.
Damn, Captain, that's 40 years with your lady?
Jeez. We're not worthy.
Oh, shit.
We're not
like-
worthy.
I'm trying to think of my in-law, if my in-laws have even been together that long. Probably, yeah. It seems about that long, yeah. But that's a long time. Look how old you are, dude.
I think Dave and I are the same age or within a year of each other, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
One of us had a birthday and exchanged when the dates were. Or something like that.
I think he's like 10 years older than me, maybe. I'm 40.
I'm-
I'm 44.
Yeah, I'm 10 years older than you are.
Yeah.
So I think Dave and I are the same age.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I was a 1980s baby. 1980.
Those were good years.
They were good years. The 80s was fun, man. Growing up as a kid in the 80s, I got to go to the roller rink all the time, and
Yeah. I grew up going to the roller rink.
watch Scooby-Doo and
Scooby-Doo.
Transformers, and
I did. I
are
missed the
G.I. Joe.
Transformers when I was in middle school. Thundercats.
yeah, Thundercats is the shit too.
Was Scooby-Doo and Thundercats were the after-school cartoons, and then I was too mature to watch He-Man. I just
Yeah.
kind of missed the
I like He-Man.
He-Man. Like anybody,
loved it.
if I watched some babysat type of thing, those kids liked He-Man. And then Transformers came out right after He-Man, or
that's
about
like-
the same time too.
I missed Pokemon, right? Like my generation was Magic cards, not Pokemon. And then I had girlfriends in high school that had little brothers that were into Pokemon and stuff, But yeah, I just missed that stuff. I just missed like Ninja Turtles was a little bit too young for me too, My little brother liked it a lot. He's like 5 years younger than me.
There we go.
Do you have siblings?
How do you pronounce you on Super Sex?
Yeah, Cerberus.
Suberus.
Cerberus, like the dog.
Greek dog.
Cerberus is the three-headed dog in the afterlife.
Ah.
It's the English pronunciation.
Well, hey, welcome.
Well, thank you. I came in because you didn't really answer either of my questions.
I didn't
Tried.
feel like I did.
Well, the first one you talked about Yahweh, which isn't about Yahweh. Like if would you consider Zeus a god? Because a bunch of people worship Zeus. Even though
In the
Zeus-
colloquial sense, I think you're using it in, yes, I would consider Zeus a god. And in the colloquial sense that you're using Yahweh, then I would consider Yahweh a god.
yeah, because I was asking about small g, not specifically.
Yeah.
And the second one was it's a matter of like how many characteristics does the god need to have, like according to believers, before you can identify it as that being? Right. So if you have
I answered that.
worshiping Yahweh, but we find out that Yahweh's real, or there's a being called Yahweh, and it's 90% true, but maybe he's a little bit of a dick.
Yeah. Like if there is that connection between the biblical God and the creator that is in charge of everything, because I can believe that we do have something in charge of us. That part I don't necessarily question as an atheist. What I question is there is the entirety of the Bible has an invisible human behind the storytelling, behind the narrative, behind the emotional manipulation that I believe exists within those scriptures, what are quote unquote scriptures. The connection that there's a Holy Spirit that orchestrated them, or the hand of God that orchestrated them, or anything like that, that is the same thing as a Nigerian prince scam. And I just don't believe that God exists in the literary form that is presented to me.
Right? It cannot exist. It's like a square circle almost, right?
It's a square circle. Yes. I have made that comparison in one of my videos. I have circled the square the best you can with how this world is being used with nature's observance cycled into scripture to say, see, this, it says it, but 3,000 years ago somebody could observe, and they didn't have TV, they didn't have YouTube, they didn't have a microphone, and they shared their ideas. They learned from the things that were there to teach us. Those were the lessons we learned, so that's why they're in there. It's not because a God told us that they're this way through the hand of God. Now, if they use the metaphor, the hand of God, from this is what I learned from the world, this is what I learned from my creator giving me, then yes, it makes sense in that way. It doesn't make the sense that Hashem, Adonai, Yahweh was the creator and we need to worship him or we're going to get our butts kicked in hell. You know, that part doesn't, the poetry, the Psalms, everything came from humans.
I think you're getting too caught up on the Bible God. Right? Let me ask that question a different way. If we found Zeus, a being that looked like Zeus, he says, oh yeah, I'm Zeus, but he doesn't live on Mount Olympus. He lives on the moon. And he doesn't throw lightning bolts. He throws rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Would you still consider that the same entity as believed in?
I don't really understand the question, I guess. Like, Zeus, if Zeus exists and Zeus all of a sudden shows up and starts providing evidence of a supernatural power or a foundation from where the supernatural power came from, is that what you mean? Or all of a sudden we're running scared and we better follow this guy or else?
No, it has nothing to do with, like, do you worship him, or, you know, how is it that he exists?
My question is, does he have any of the, like, powers, right, that Zeus has?
Well, I mean, he's, you know, with some of the other powers, he's basically...
Well, he can, like, see what's happening on Earth pretty much anywhere, right, at any time from his position.
That was.
You can just kind of look in the pool of water and see what's happening on Earth, right?
That was technically a power of the pool, not a power of Zeus.
Yeah. But if he's up in Olympus and he has that ability to access that, then...
Right, Zeus's power is immortality, super strong, throws lightning bolts.
Okay, so does this person that we discover have... Does this person have immortality?
Yeah, so he has immortality.
Okay, yeah, then sure. I'll still count him as a god. Maybe not the god as described as Zeus, but maybe we'll just call him Zod. You know?
Okay. Well, that's my question. Would you still consider him Zeus even if he identified as Zeus or not?
Yeah, if he's immortal, then yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
I'm not sure why, but I'm not able to get
all three.
All three.
Yeah, do I need to add scene? Oh, I mean, I'm not particularly worried about it.
You're not? Okay.
I don't have a regular cam. All I have on is
yeah. So is the line of questioning because of Greek mythology? We're talking about Zeus, and then your icon of the Cerberus. Cerberus. Yeah. Is obviously Greek mythology as well. Do you believe you are a descendant of a Greek mythological god?
No.
Does your alter ego?
No. I'm normal. I was just asking those questions because I find a lot of atheists to declare themselves an atheist, and they don't have even a personal understanding of what that means when they say the word.
Yeah, there's definitely a clarification of the definition of God that you were using. If it's in equivalence to Zeus, yes, I believe that the psychological profile of Yahweh is a moment in which somebody figured out all those statues, types of usages. Somebody figured out the psychological effect of those usages and made it invisible. And whether the Greek gods were in that capacity, Yahweh is just an invisible version of those physical beings that were in charge of us at some point. And that I don't believe that's a god. I believe that's a trick.
I'm with you.
Because depending on the answer to those questions, there are like things you can't actually exclude that might fit a definition of God. That's why I was asking those questions.
Coalescing behind an idea can be just as human as if there was a real God. How would you tell the difference sometimes? Like, even if I claim that the Bible is a trick, and there's this many Christians, 2.3 billion Christians in the world, and if you include Abrahamic religions, then there's 4.1 roughly. You obviously have something there. There's something being worshipped. There's something to coalesce behind. But is there an actual God that they're worshiping that gave them their holy books? Or is it the idea that was coalesced behind? The chicken and the egg. And that part I don't believe. I believe the chicken exists because of a good story. And here's the thing. Christianity doesn't need to be a scam.
Doesn't have to be. No.
It does not have to be a scam. You could pull back and say, you know what, Jesus wasn't a god. He was just somebody who loved preaching about the Beatitudes. And we think these ideals going forward were beneficial and made humanity flourish. And I think we'd have about the same outcome without the psychological damage that hell causes. But at the flip side, the amount of people who are comforted by a final sermon at somebody's funeral or some variation of closing service. We have that, there's a trading one side of complications for another.
I was asking those questions. Like, for example, there's Hindu temples have temple gods, right? They're essentially supposed to be kind of like gargoyles are for Christian churches, right? They're small gods that like protect the temple, and they're worshipped, right? And they're real things, physical things that are worshipped.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the worshipers think that when they're not looking, those statues get up and walk around and do things. Right, so that the first question is, a large number of people worships this thing. Would you consider that meeting your definition of a god? If yes, then it's a god, as long as all the details don't have to be correct.
So
right, because obviously
there's something similar with Yahweh.
Well, I think when I think of a god, it has to have like supernatural powers, basically, right? Anything with supernatural powers, I would probably qualify as a god for the most part.
That's sort of at the root. Like that's a good sort of add-on to the first question.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Have you ever?
I would clarify that no, it doesn't matter if a lot of people worship it. If it's not supernatural, I don't call it a god.
There's a
exactly. Like if you just say this, my bottle of water is a god, I'm not going to call that a god. I'm not going to accept that because it doesn't have any meaning beyond just being a bottle of water, right? Doesn't have any supernatural powers, doesn't have anything that transcends reality, right? As they would say.
There's a story in the Midrash about a story of Abraham in his father's idol shop. Have you ever heard of it?
I don't think so.
I think it touches on the psychological question you're asking. Let's see if I can. Idol shop. Abraham and the idol shop.
I mean, I've known like a lot of like people that claim they're like Wicca or whatever, and you know, they may like claim they have supernatural powers, but they're non-demonstrable, right? You can't demonstrate them beyond their just claims. So I don't know. I mean, you could say, like, this is the thing, like there's definitely, like, I think that, like you said, like eternal life is definitely probably one thing for a god that would probably be one of the things I would probably put in the definition of a god. But maybe not, though. Maybe some gods can die. Like, what's the problem with that? Like in Greek mythology, that happens all the time, right?
Your mythology gods can die.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know.
In Asian cultures, gods can die. And a lot of cultures, gods can die.
Yeah, I think it... I mean, if you really... I'm trying to think. What is the movie that I'm thinking of? There's a movie... can't quite remember what it was. Anyway, it described like oh, have you ever seen I know what it is now. It was a show that was about a bunch of different gods. Like Wednesday was one of the characters, and he was like Odin. Oh, what was that show? It was on Stars or something. Gods of America. That's it. American Gods. Have you seen that show?
Oh yeah, I love American Gods. Neil Gaiman,
yeah.
anything.
That show's so good. Yeah.
Neil Gaiman, anything. I love Neil Gaiman.
He's so
American
good.
Gods.
He is. But I think about like the gods in that show, like when it describes like a god stops being worshipped, right? And then they lose all their power because they stop being worshipped, kind of, you know? And they they can die because of that. It's interesting. I love that show. Yeah, I thought American Gods was great.
I heard that it was going to continue. It's no longer going to be on Stars, but it was going to continue on one of the streaming services, but I haven't followed up in a while. Man, and I would imagine all the stars are no longer. Yeah, they left it cliffhanger for Odin's son, or not son. I forget. The American God, basically.
Yeah.
Is either going to become a part of Odin or become a part of the new lore.
The new lore, yeah, dude. Yeah, that show is great. How she like the new gods. Those are it was so awesome. Yeah, the technoglod, like techno god kind of thing, where he just puts you in a virtual
Mr.
reality.
World.
Yeah, Mr. World. Yeah,
Mr. World, and the technology of that one.
That's such a well-written show, man.
Yeah, I love concept. Neil Gaiman. Just give me Neil Gaiman anytime.
That's true. There are some actors like that I'm definitely partial to, for sure.
So this is an excerpt from the Midrash, The Terah was Abraham's dad. He was an idol manufacturer who once went away and left Abraham in charge of the store. A man walked in and wished to buy an idol. Abraham asked him how old he was, and the man replied 50 years old. And Abraham said to him, "You're 50 years old, and worship this old statue." At this point, the man left ashamed. Later, a woman walked into the store and wanted to make an offering to the idols. So Abraham took a stick, smashed the idols, placed the stick in the hand of the largest idol. And when his dad returned, he asked Abraham, "What happened to all the idols?" Abraham told him that a woman came in to make an offering to the idols. The idols argued which one should eat the offering first. Then the largest idol took the stick and smashed all the other idols. His dad responded by saying that they are only statues and have no knowledge, whereupon Abraham responded by saying that you deny their knowledge, yet you worship them. At this point, his dad took Abraham to Nimrod. Nimrod proclaims to Abraham that we should worship fire. Abraham responds that water puts out fire. So Nimrod declares they worship water. Abraham responds that the clouds hold water. So Nimrod declares that they worship clouds. Abraham responds that the wind pushes clouds. So Nimrod declares that they worship wind. Abraham responds that people withstand wind. Nimrod becomes angry with Abraham and declares that Abraham should be cast into the fire. And if Abraham is correct, i.e., that there is a real God, then God will save him. Abraham is cast into the fire and is saved by God. Abraham's brother, Haran, sees what had happened and says that he believes that the God of Abraham, Haran, has thrown thee into the fire.
Uh-oh.
Your mic died.
Yeah, we lost your audio there, bro.
It actually has a little buzz. I don't know if there's like
Yeah, that was weird. It was like boing. It was like my tinnitus was setting off there. It's like, oh, this is like being in a quiet room.
Well, while he's doing that, I got a question for you.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, you said only if it was supernatural. Would you change your mind if there was something that was maybe superhuman and worshipped like?
No, because I think there's lots of animals that are superior human at doing what they do, right? I don't think being good at something or like superhuman, what do you mean by that? Like being able to like, well, I think that anything that would be able to like defy the laws of physics must be some sort of like, you know, independently of like technology. If you can defy the laws of physics somehow, then yeah, you're clearly some sort of like supernatural being of some kind, right? Or a god. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, actually.
Cool.
Maybe think of something else.
No, you're good. Tux, you still having audio issues?
I think
Still
I'm
can't hear you.
repaired.
There we go.
Oh, there you are. You're there.
Something
You're lagging.
crashed either in the microphone or in G-Hub. I don't know.
Yeah, it was really weird. It was like there was
Chrome.
like this weird like it was like this weird sound. It's strange.
This is why I can never have nice things.
No, you're laggy now. Yeah.
Now I'm lagging.
We'll deal with it.
Did I lose?
Hey, your just voice is off with
Yeah,
your
I'm gonna refresh the
mouth
screen.
moving.
I say it's
There
fine
you
on
go.
my end.
Maybe it's my internet's pretty good, so I don't think it's my internet. A little better, maybe.
How about now?
Yeah, better. Definitely better than it was. Are you on like a laptop?
I am on a laptop. I gotta.
That's probably it.
I think. I don't know.
Too many browsers open.
Possibly. Oh, could be.
Yeah, I'm spoiled, I guess. I've always had a nice PC. I did have a laptop when I lived in Asia, but I went to like the Korean market and bought like a gaming laptop.
Oh wow.
And it was one that was never even released in the US. So it never got graphics card updates after like 1 or 2. It was awful. I hated it.
Yeah, it might be time to get something that's a little bigger, more powerful.
You just need RAM, right? You just need something that can hold 32
Max, I
RAM.
can't modify. I've never had a problem until basically there's a problem in Chrome. According to StreamYard, the problem is in Chrome.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
And I can't do audio share with any other browser. So I'm kind of stuck. And
Chrome is like a CPU. It sucks the life out of your CPU. It uses a lot of power.
So, what you experience, I think, is a Chrome issue.
It's
Chrome
it's
that's
fine
causing
now.
it.
It's fine now.
Yeah.
You're good. You're back to normal now.
If I do any kind of screen switching and stuff like that, a lot of times it will
It'll start lagging.
do the same thing as
Computer out.
well that it did to my microphone. Whatever I'm trying to play, it'll do the same thing.
That was really weird how your microphone cut out. Must have crashed.
Could have been my microphone that crashed. Oh,
It's probably a memory issue.
Could be.
You know,
Could
you could build a nice streaming PC for cheap for real cheap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you're not trying to play like video games on it, you know, like if you're not trying to build a gaming PC, you can definitely build like a streaming PC for pretty cheap.
Yeah, I'm pretty. I like
yeah,
my Macs, so I use PCs at work, and anytime I have to do the same thing that I do at work on my Macs, I'm always like, oh, it's so
10
much
times easier.
Yeah, it's so much easier.
That's true.
So this, you know, it's the devil, you know.
And if you're a Mac guy, stick with it. I'm not too. I mean, I used to be more like back in the day when Apple was like, you have to buy our special mouse, and you can only use our special cords, and you can only use all this shit. We only, you know, you can. There's no left click on our mouse. That's when I was like, nah, screw this company. I was like, I'm not into this. But I understand, like, I have a lot of friends that are like graphic design artists and stuff, and they definitely prefer the like reliability and the I guess ease of an Apple. It's more intuitive, and they're way more stable than a PC for sure, for the most part.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna close out. Subarus, do you make content, by the way?
No, not really.
No.
He comments.
You've
been around a while, though, haven't you, Cerberus? I've talked to you before, I think.
Yeah, quite a while. I float around. I try to come up with weird arguments.
It's good talking to you again.
Yeah. Have you subscribed to? Are you subscribed to Master Blaster's Blaster Master?
I don't think so.
Scooter,
that's a Scooter song. Master
it's all
Blaster
good,
is
dude.
Scooter.
Everyone does it because of like you know, the I'm Master Blaster. It's like from the movie or whatever.
It's a DJ called Scooter.
Well, that, and it's from the movie, from the what's the Furiosa? Not Furiosa, but what's the original?
Well, what's your YouTube account?
Oh yeah, just Blaster Master 80.
Blaster Master.
I'll put some more content up there soon enough. I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, you know, I have my old phone from when I lived in Korea, and I bet there's some cool pictures and shit on there from like 20 years ago, you know? I was like, I should probably use some of that, get some of those videos downloaded. I have some old stuff that I could upload. And then I also, like, I'm a gamer. I game a lot, and I should probably stream more often, get some views. Make money while I'm sitting at home playing video games.
You could do that?
Yeah, you can do that. There it is. I know this song.
Master Blaster!
All right. Well, it's time to start my evening festivities for Mrs. Tux.
Word.
So I'm going to bolt out of here, end the stream. Thank you for everybody commenting and subscribing and liking, doing all those fun things. And,
yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, it was good to see you on TKA. I'd seen you around before. Before yesterday.
I know you too. Yeah.
But I didn't know that you were ever present in the YouTube growing community of us kind of small time atheists.
I've always supported smaller channels, and then they just grew up in being huge.
Yeah. And then
they don't talk to you anymore after they have like 1 million subs. You're like, hey.
Yeah. I started supporting Apologia, and I've met him in real life. I don't
Paul's
bother him
cool,
too much, but
yeah,
Paul's pretty cool. I'll tell you who I first saw that kind of he's bigger than Apologia now is Trevor at Believe It or Not.
Archaeologist? Okay, yeah.
Trevor at Believe It or Not. I came across his channel with like 400 subs. And I watched the first video, and then I found the playlist of that video, and I watched the playlist. He only had like 4 or 5 videos out in that playlist. And then by the time I finished watching the entire playlist, he was up to 800 subs. And by the time I watched it again, he was at 1,200 subs. And by the time I contacted him and he had responded, he was over 2,000 subs. And then I was kind of one of his early supporters. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I have a few people like that. Like, who am I thinking of? Shoot, he puts out videos all the damn time. Do you remember Professor Stick? He still does.
Vaguely.
Stuff. Yeah, he still does stuff. And then also,
I think I've seen a few of his videos.
What's the other streamer? I'm sorry, I'm so bad with names. Owen from what's his other channel called? He has Owen Unfiltered, Telltale Atheist.
Oh, Telltale.
I was like one of his first subs, and I was like friends with him and in Stick back in the day, and I was always talking to them, and now I'm like, they don't even remember who I am. I'm like, whatever. At least they made it. You know what I mean? I predicted it too. I was like, you guys are gonna start blowing up soon. They're like, no, we won't. I'm like, oh yeah, both of you are gonna pop right now.
That's funny.
Okay.
Wow. Well, shoot. If you've got all this wealth of knowledge, what does Jimmy Tux need to do?
What do you need to do? You need to stream daily.
Yeah.
You need to do reaction videos. You need to put out shorts.
Yeah.
You need to if you just put out content every day, you'll get a following.
Yeah.
I think. It's just about consistency, like being consistent.
I think
you don't
that's
have to
what
make videos every day, but if you just spend like 1 day a week like streaming or whatever, and you cut it up and put those videos out throughout the week, that helps a lot. You know what I mean? Shorten up. You're like, here's a little clip on this subject, and I put out a 10-minute video. You know, that I talked about on Saturday.
Make a list of all your unpopular opinions that you can say on stream. Say those, and your audience will find you.
Exactly.
That is a great advice.
It is.
Yeah. NBA basketball sucks. I honestly, even in watching it in the Olympics, I've
never liked basketball that much.
I've just never really loved NBA basketball. College basketball I've gotten into great many times. But I declare NBA basketball is the downfall of society.
I used to play in the pep band for my local college, right?
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was a non-marching pep band. I used to play in the old dudes pep band. And I was like the one young guy in the pep band with all the old bastards. And me and my dad used to do that when I was in high school. And yeah, we would go to the local college. We were part of the pep band, and I got to sit there right on the floor, watch all the games. Played through every break.
I was just going to say, did you get a little corner of the arena to basically get to watch the games for.
Yeah, exactly. It was fun. It was super fun. I mean, we always lost because we're North Idaho. University of Idaho sucks.
Yeah.
Seriously, consider that advice.
Yeah, like
my alma mater did a study and they proved that haters actually spread your content
more.
Yeah,
It's funny.
I like you.
I don't doubt that at all. Yeah.
Haters. You know
so
what?
be controversial.
That's the have you ever seen Howard Stern's Private Parts?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because when they're going over the
how do you do
the listen hours,
mm-hmm.
they're like, well, isn't the Christian Coalition like? And they're like, yeah, they actually listen more. He's like, your average viewer listens for 1 hour and 10 minutes. He's like, well, how long does the Christian Coalition last? 1 hour and 43 minutes.
He's like, wait a minute.
He's like,
they really hate me.
That's right. So there you go. That's why sometimes I ignore whatever Daniel on Darwin to Jesus posts on his Twitter, because clearly that's what I'm doing if I get into.
Yeah, the more people you get reacting to you, the faster you're going to grow, for sure.
Haters are just more likely to repost and talk about you by name.
Mm-hmm.
People that enjoy you will make it their own little thing and watch you. They might
That's
give you a comment, they might thumbs you up, but they generally don't share you to people.
That's how Trump became so popular, right?
Yeah, Trump, a lot of times, it doesn't matter what he says. It matters if he dominates the news cycle that night.
Mm-hmm. That's all he cares about.
I think that's all he cares about. So there you go, folks. Get your earphones shut off. Just if I get my earphones shut off,
it was
people will talk about me.
Shot.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap this up. I don't have a memo zen or anything like that. We're just gonna go out cold.
Peace out, everyone.
So, Bowtie bless you all. And Cyber, how do you pronounce it? Suberus. Thank you for joining and giving us a little mental exercise. Appreciate it. All right, Bowtie bless you all. And no moment of zen tonight. Thank you all. Unless you want to do Bloody Jesus.